Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Today we will cover another important topic, which is the inspections on board. Okay, in the office we hear a lot of times that inspection is there on board, we have to keep our documents ready, etc, etc. But we hear only one single word, which is inspection. Okay, so you're not very sure what inspection is happening and what are the documents they are going to check. Okay, and what is this inspection about? What are these so many inspections happening on the ship? Right? It is not the same inspection happening so many times, but there are so many different inspections looking at the same documents. Okay, so in this video we will go through very simply. The inspection is a very huge topic, but we will compress it only to that much that office staff needs to know. Seafarers will have a basic idea. This might be very basic for them, but new cadets and maybe junior officers and ratings will have a good idea of what is actually happening, because ratings also have only that much idea, that they also hear only inspection, and they are not very clear on what inspection is. Okay, let's go into the video. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Please do share with your colleagues and friends whom you feel might also get benefited from this video. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Take care. Hello, let's dive into the video. This video, as I mentioned, is about inspections on board. There are a lot of inspections on board which are carried out. It's almost like nowadays it's like every port there is some inspection or the other. Okay, some are planned, some are unplanned, some happen because of the situation on board. Okay, there can be many reasons why people should come and inspect the vessels. Why we need inspection? Why ships are running, everything is happening, but why you need inspection? Basically because you need to have compliance. They need to come and check whether company is doing the correct things on board, the seafarers are doing the correct things on board, and the ship is run in a safe manner, so that the cargo is carried safely from one place to another. Okay, that is the bottom line of ships. It's a maritime adventure where you need to carry cargo from one place to another safely. Okay. So inspections on board. What is an inspection? Basically, there are two. Inspection we call it in a common terminology. Okay, inspection has different kinds. Basically, we have two types. One is an audit. The other is the survey. Okay, audit means it is mostly the documentation and the process. Okay, process is audited, the documentation is audited. Okay, you don't audit machinery, you don't audit, you cannot go and check, you cannot go and check the machinery and say I have audited. It's a survey. Okay, so audit is basically documentation or the processes on board which can be audited. Okay. So audit means what are the possible options on audit? It is basically the ISM system. Okay, process I just told it will be process will be audited. So all the process on the ship is as per the SMS manual. Okay, which is the ISM code. I'm making a video next on the IMO and the convention. It is long pending. So I will make that as my next video. We will discuss all this IMS, where is it coming from, all the requirements, everything we will discuss in the next video. Okay, now for now it is basically the SMS system on board, safety management system, which details all the procedures on board. Okay, so basically if the auditor comes, so he will audit the ISM system. And based on that he gives various certification. That also we will check, we'll see in the next video. Okay, so that is audit, and he can also check all the ship certificates, if everything is okay, is there anything expiring, all those things. Basically documentation and processes. That is audit. Survey actually is checking, whether the machinery is working, if you cannot pump out something, you have a machine to control it. So whether it controls like the ODMCS or the the oily water separator. So all these things they will be this is called survey. He can go in the tank. Some of the inspections are also for the tanks. They will go and check the tanks. How are they? If it's a cargo hold, they'll go and check the condition of the cargo hold. They can go into the engine room. They can check the condition of the machinery, their records. How are they? How is their statistics of their the parameters of the machinery, whether they are correct or not. So all those things will come under the survey. So basically audit is the documentation and process. Survey is basically the equipments and the machinery. Why we need an inspection? To ensure compliance, as I mentioned. How will the company know? How will the flag state know? How will the port state know? Everybody wants to know whether the ship is safe, because for the port state, the ship is coming to their port, so they have to be very sure. Flag state, because it is flying their flag, so they have to ensure what are the rules they have made the ship is following. We have classification society, they have classed the vessel. Again, we will come what is the class and details of class also in future video. The classification society comes and they also want to know, they have put in rules and they have classified the vessel, they have given class to the vessel. So they also need to know whether the ship is safe, they are operating properly, all those things. Okay. So everybody is coming and inspecting whether it is able to comply. There can be different agenda, but the different areas of compliance, but everything is compliance. Okay, so everybody comes on board to check for compliance. Types of inspection. Statutory means which the ship will not be able to move without the certificate on board and valid. Okay, that is called statutory certificate. So you cannot, the ship is not seaworthy. The usual term which is mentioned is seaworthy, means she cannot go out of the port, she cannot do any operations, she cannot navigate from port A to port B. Her insurance is not covered. It's like without that certificate you are nothing. It is. It's like you are before the yard and you are sitting in the yard and the ship is not fully built or something like that. It cannot just operate. Okay. There is one more kind of an inspection, that is called the commercial. Commercial is basically what you can operate. You can go from A to B. Everything you can do on owner's cost. Okay, the charterer will not pay any money. If you are not clearing his inspection, owner can keep operating the ship. He can pay the salaries of the crew. He can do all the maintenance. He can keep the bunker on board. He can put food and water on board, and he can keep going from A to B, B to C, C to D. Everywhere he can go without cargo. Okay, so obviously, that's not the point why the owner has bought the ship. So commercial is also very, very important. So basically, indirectly, if you fail this commercial inspection, still you are grounded. Okay, grounded in the sense it's not grounded. It is basically you cannot again operate. There is no point running the ship, right? If you don't have a cargo, we are all from the maritime industry where cargo is our bread and butter. So if you don't have a cargo, the owner will not, he will not leave alone keeping it on one place. He will not keep crew on board. He will not keep seafarers on board, because the more time he keeps without cargo, he is spending more and more on the ship. Okay, so he might sign off everybody, keep some skeleton crew and put it on the hot layup or cold layup. Okay, so commercial certification is also as important as statutory, if not more important. Okay, so only having statutory certificate is not going to help the owner. That is an important part, but commercial also equally important. Okay. Okay, so SOLAS Convention is not only the ISM code. You have a lot of chapters which covers which are covered in SOLAS Convention. So they can audit on, they can inspect on SOLAS Convention. Assembly Convention we have already seen.
what are the requirements, everything we have seen it elaborately, so they can come and check. Maritime Labour Convention, again we have completed this. I have also mentioned what all they can check, all those things. So these are all statutory inspections where if you fail this, you will not be able to move the ship. The ship is called detained. Okay, it will be detained in a port, and unless you correct everything, you cannot leave the port. Okay, commercial, you have cargo on board, you have don't have cargo on board, you have a lake and to catch, all those things they are not bothered. They'll tell boss, make these things right, then you can move the vessel from the port. Okay. Classification inspection. Okay, these are all they have these are all the major rules and regulations related to crewing, but you have other conventions, you have other rules, you have classification, their own rules which you need to comply with for sailing these vessels. Okay, so all those things will be checked also. So if you can see on the right hand side, we have just put a small image. Okay, you have annual survey, you have intermediate survey, you have class renewal survey, bottom survey, boiler survey, tail shaft survey, damage and repairs. If you have a vessel who has got damage, then again classification society comes. Voyage repairs, conversion surveys, extraordinary surveys, special cases, change of class, condition assessment program. Okay, these are all types of inspections. We will not go into such depth. It is not the scope of this video. We are just going to browse through so that seafarers and the office staff have a overall overview of the inspections on board, and not to do a PhD on the inspections. Okay. These are all we saw commercial, statutory inspection. Now we go to the commercial inspection. Commercial inspection, as I mentioned, it's all basically to have the cargo. If you have the cargo, then there is a point. If you don't have the cargo, then there is no point operating the vessel. Okay. Okay. Commercial inspections. We saw wetting, CDI, SIRE. These are all for the cargo. Okay. Wetting, SIRE are basically the same. CDI is also the same. This is all done by the oil majors. Okay. Oil major is what? Who is the cargo owner? So cargo owner, he is going to put so much cargo. Wetting is for oil, gas, etc. It's a common name. CDI is Chemical Distribution Institute. This is they do it for the chemical tankers. Okay. So these are all the cargo owners who are going to put cargo on your ship. Okay. So basically they will come and check whether boss, you have all the procedures. They are interested more of operations. All this. How is it vessel is constructed? Constructor is okay. All those things they don't check. They check basically the operation of the vessel, the crew of the vessel, how safe they are. Are they properly trained for the operation of the vessel, and how is the operation process? Whether they have proper procedures in place, proper processes in place, proper checklists in place, and how are they going to maintain the machinery going from load port to discharge port, the ship capable of taking the cargo from one place to another. All those things they are going to check, basically operational wise. So they will mostly do these inspections only in the discharge port. Okay, loading port, lot of machinery of the ship is not being used. It's all shore machinery. They just come and load. You have this is not only for tankers, you have for bulk carriers also. You have something called the ride ships. So mostly these are all done on the discharge port, where a lot of ships equipments are being used, so that they can actually see whether the cargo machinery, everything is properly working or not. Sale and purchase, again this is very clear. If the ship is being sold or purchased, then they do this inspection. Condition assessment program, we saw there also condition assessment program. Basically this is done by the class, but it is a commercial inspection. But that's a little difference. This is required by the cargo owners. Where in older ships, like around 15 years old, if the ship is over 15 years old, they need the condition assessment program. Whether they just need to check the condition. They have a proper checklist. They need to check different points. You have a cap 1, cap 2, cap 3, cap 4. These are the 4 categories you have. So they will give you the ratings based on what is your condition of the ship. And most of the charters will say we need Cap 1 certification for the vessel, then we can take. Because as the ship becomes older, you know all the machineries become old, structure becomes old. So all these things, so they need to check. So if you need to have cargo more than 15 years, you need to operate the vessel older than 15 years, then you go for this condition assessment program. Again, this is a commercial requirement, it is not a statutory requirement. Without this, you can operate the vessel, no problems, 25-30 years without, and you are complying with all these other conventions above we discussed. So you can operate the vessel, but if you want cargo, then you need to go for the condition assessment program. Okay. And terminal safety inspection. Again, the ship is safe, everything is okay, but the terminal, wherever you are going, you are going for loading, you are going for discharging, you will have a terminal inspector coming. So they will come and check whether all your process, everything. It's the same thing. There is nothing different to check on the ship. They will check the process. They will check the checklist. They will check if your cargo equipments are all okay. All those things they will check. Okay. So the checking is the common. It's only they're done by different people for different reasons. Who does the inspection? Statutory inspection, port state inspector, flag state inspector, classification society surveyor. Okay, these are the three people who usually does the inspections for the statutory inspection. Class does most of the certification. Port state and flag state do. Port state actually doesn't have much of a role here. It's only flag state and classification society. So classification society does 90% of flag state's jobs. They are called the recognized organization, RO. They are called the classification society or called the ROs, recognized organizations. So these can do surveys, audits based on behalf of the flag state. Okay. In one of the previous videos, I had also told what is the port state inspector's role here. They are basically reporting to the flag state inspector the status, the flag state basically, the status of the vessel on behalf of the flag state. Okay, so flag state is the core. Classification society does inspections for the flag state. Port state inspector does the inspection for the flag state. Because the flag state inspectors cannot travel so much, the vessel can be trading worldwide. So the port state inspector take up the responsibility. They go and check on behalf of the flag state all the statutory requirements. They will not do anything on the cargo, all those things. They might check whether the condition is okay. The ship will not pollute, something like in that sense. In that aspect, they will not check whether the cargo will not contaminate or something very specific to cargo. The cargo condition, how is it? The tank condition, how is it? There is no rust and there will not be any mixing of cargo or something like that. Okay. Commercial aspect they will not be checking. They will be checking the statutory aspects. Okay, port state inspector. They will check MLC whether everybody is within the contract period. They are getting paid, the salaries paid, the CBA is on board. All those things they will check. Okay. So basically, port state does all the inspections for flag state. Classification does all the inspections for flag state. And I have also explained what is the difference between port state and flag state. Both are government bodies, both are DG shipping. If Indian flag vessel is inspected by the flag state in the port of India, then it is called flag state inspection. If the same ship is going to another country and that country's DG shipping is coming and inspecting the vessel, it's called port state inspection. That's as simple as that. Okay. Commercial inspection, who does? VDI setting, CDI sire inspector. So basically, there is a forum called Oil Companies International Marine Forum, OCAIMF. So they have a proper guidance. They have certification. You have various certifications where you can become an inspector. Okay, then you get more and more inspections. You get your experience. Then again, all the checklists keep on updating. So based on that, you keep inspecting and you become a proficient inspector. Okay. So they have various requirements that you should be a master, chief engineer, different requirement they have. So based on that, they become the inspector. So there is no clear cut. They are not any part of an big organization or something like that, officially registered or something like that. They can be they just give a third party inspector. There can be a lot of inspectors who are just doing freelance. Okay, they can just go whichever oil major wants to do the inspection. He can go and do it for everybody based on his certification, whatever he has got. Sale or purchase inspector. Again, this is nothing. Any chief engineer master can go and do the inspection. They should be knowledgeable on the ship, and they should be able to assess the condition of the vessel, whether the vessel is operable, vessel does not have any issues or something like that. Anybody can become the sale and purchase inspector. Terminal safety inspector. Again, he is part of this terminal, and he is in charge of the safety of the terminal. So he will go and check on board based on the checklist where he will ensure that the ship will be doing operations safely, and the ship will deberth and leave the port safely. That's where they are interested in. They are not interested in anything else. They want the safety of the terminal, so they just ensure whether the ship is doing properly everything. They have proper procedures, and they can discharge the cargo or load the cargo safely. Okay, that's the only thing they check. That completes our video today with the inspections on board. I have just grazed through. There is so much information on this. There is something called the harmonization of certification. There are, if you want to do, we can do a 10 days video or 15 days video only on surveys and certification inspections on board. Okay, so let's not go that deep. These are the basic bare minimum which any seafarer who is going on board or any office staff who is dealing with seafarers should know. Okay, so that's what we have done here. Thank you so much for being with me in this video. Please do share this video as much as possible to your friends and colleagues who might be benefited like you also. Okay, thank you so much. Have a nice day. Be safe, take care, and follow CAP.